Type 1. The vault. Picture this. Someone asks how you're doing. Your mouth says, "I'm good, thanks." But your brain is hosting a private film festival of unresolved feelings too layered to explain. You smile, you nod, you ask how they're doing, and everything inside you stays exactly where it was. Safe, hidden, yours. The vault feels everything deeply, but shares almost none of it. Not because they're cold, because opening up feels like handing someone a fragile sculpture and hoping they don't drop it. What they're hiding: a mind that never stops feeling, and a heart that trusts very, very slowly. This is the vault, the introvert whose silence isn't emptiness. It's a locked room full of everything. Type 2. The fader. Picture this. You walk into a party fully charged, smiling, nodding, even throwing out a brave, "Hey, what's up?" at someone you barely know. 10 minutes in, you're surviving. Then quietly, your internal battery drops from 100% to 12%, faster than an old iPhone in winter. The fader doesn't leave social events. They evaporate from them. 1 second, they're smiling at the chip bowl. The next, gone. No announcement, no goodbye. Just a smooth slip into the shadows, like a polite ninja with anxiety. They aren't rude, they're self-preserving. And alone at home afterward, silence hits like medicine. This is the fader, the introvert who loves people, just not for very long. Type 3. The mind spinner. Picture this. Someone waves at you across the street. You wave back. Then halfway through, you wonder, were they waving at you? Congratulations. Your brain has now opened 72 mental tabs trying to figure it out. The mind spinner doesn't just overthink. They ultra-think. A text saying, "We need to talk," becomes a psychological thriller. A pause in a reply becomes a plot twist. Someone saying "sure" instead of "okay" becomes a sign of impending doom. But beneath all the mental spirals lies a big heart. They replay everything, not because they're paranoid, because they care deeply about getting it right. This is the mind spinner, living in a world where every thought is a carousel, and stopping it feels impossible. Type 4. The performer. Picture this. You just crushed a presentation. People laughed at your jokes. Your boss looked impressed. And now, you're in the bathroom, back against the wall, completely drained, wondering how long before you can go home. The performer can turn it on when needed and completely collapse when the curtain drops. They don't even look like an introvert to most people. But that confident version of them is a costume, not a personality. It costs real energy to wear. What they're hiding, that going home is the best part of every single day. This is the performer, the introvert who can light up any room, as long as they can disappear from it afterward. Type 5. The NPC. Picture this. Everyone at the table is laughing, debating, telling stories with hand gestures so dramatic they could win awards. And then there's you, quietly sipping your drink, nodding at the right moments, contributing exactly nothing. Not because you're bored, because you've accepted your role in this social cutscene. The NPC exists peacefully in the background, observing like a wildlife documentary narrator. And here's what nobody realizes. NPCs notice everything. The eye roll, the awkward tension, the joke that didn't land. They're the unofficial historians of every friend group. When they do speak, everyone listens. Because the NPC doesn't waste dialogue. Their words come out like rare loot drops. Surprising, valuable, occasionally hilarious. This is the NPC. The quiet background soul who sees everything but says nothing, unless it truly matters. Type 6. The archive. Picture this. You're at dinner with friends. Everyone's loud and present. But quietly, in the back of your mind, you're cataloging everything. The way someone's voice shifted. The detail nobody else noticed. The thing a person said 2 years ago, they've completely forgotten. The archive doesn't just listen. They absorb. They're a walking library of everyone they've ever met and every room they've ever sat in. Most of what they notice never even gets said out loud. What they're hiding, that they probably know you better than you know yourself, and they've never mentioned it. This is the archive. The introvert who watches the world like a documentary and remembers every scene. Type 7. The cloud walker. Picture this. Everyone's discussing deadlines and broken printers, and you're staring out the window, fully invested in a story only you can see. One involving dramatic rainfall, a mysterious stranger, and possibly a dragon. The cloud walker lives 50% on Earth and 50% in a beautifully crafted alternate universe. They reimagine conversations, rewrite scenarios, create parallel timelines, and occasionally forget where they are mid-sentence. Their inner world is loud, colorful, and often 1,000 times more interesting than whatever small talk is happening around them. This is the cloud walker, a dream-footed wanderer drifting between worlds, carrying stories no one else ever sees. Type 8. The reluctant social animal. Picture this. You cancel plans and feel instant relief, a full-body exhale. But an hour later, sitting alone in your quiet apartment, something creeps in. A tiny, annoying feeling, almost like loneliness, almost like you actually wanted to go. The reluctant social animal craves connection and dreads it at the exact same time. They want people, real, meaningful people. But the process, the small talk, the noise, the social navigation, feels like a toll road with no easy exit. What they're hiding, that they're a little lonely, and that every time they cancel, they secretly hope someone will insist they come anyway. This is the reluctant social animal, the introvert who wants the connection, just not the cost of getting there. Type 9. The still water. Picture this. Something unfair happens. Someone says something cutting, and you go very, very quiet. No explosion, no reaction. Just a calm stillness that unsettles everyone around you, because they can't tell what's happening underneath. The still water processes everything privately. They'll smile calmly at 2 p.m. and let the whole day land at 11 p.m., alone in the dark, finally feeling it all. What they're hiding, that beneath the calm surface, there's an entire ocean, and it has weather. This is the still water, the introvert who runs deepest where no one ever thinks to look. Type 10. The depth seeker. Picture this. Someone is describing in great detail how they rearranged their sock drawer last weekend. Everyone else nods politely. You, meanwhile, feel your soul gently packing its bags and preparing to leave your body. The depth seeker can't survive conversations that hover at the surface. Their mind is built like a deep-sea vessel, designed to explore ideas, feelings, fears, and purpose. Asking them to chat about weather is like running that vessel in a kiddie pool. When they connect fully. No half measures, no shallow end. This is the depth seeker, the introvert who doesn't just talk. They dive. Every introvert on this list looks quiet from the outside. But now you know what's actually running underneath. They're not empty. They're not cold. They're not difficult. They're full. They're careful. And they're saving the real version of themselves for the people who are actually worth it. If any of these felt a little too familiar, that's not a coincidence. That's just someone finally saying the thing you never knew how to explain. If you like this video, watch these as well. Ready for your next topic whenever you are.